How is everybody doing today? I have 5 thumbs up already. Wow. And I have 3 people joining. Good morning from Tokyo. It's quite windy today. I think we're going to have a storm, and then we're going to land into the rainy season. The rainy season in Tokyo is around, I think, mid-June to mid-July. So, yeah, today we are going to talk about Sheena, Ringo, and Wednesday Campanella, which were requests from you guys. I hope whoever requested it is around to join. But even if you're not around to join, it's okay. You can just view the recording later when you have the time, because I know everybody is in different time zones. Okay, I think it's a bit too windy, so I'm going to shut the window. Hold on. Oh, hi Jasmine, thank you for joining. Hold on a second. Oh, it's been so windy. Okay, cute cherries. Okay, so let's start the session, even though I think not everybody is ready yet. Okay, all right, let's start the session. Okay, so I posted the videos that I wanted to cover today, I think about 10 hours ago. And the first video that I'd like to cover today is Menuki Douri. And this is a commercial / promotion / collaboration with the luxury department store Ginza Six, which opened a few years ago. And Ginza Six is a combination of a luxury department store plus plus artworks. I guess it's like a museum and a department store combined, because there are so many artworks within the department store and it changes all the time. So it gives you a reason to go to the department store even if you don't have anything that you want to buy. So it's a really, really new concept department store, and it's the the corporation that's involved is not only normal 不動産会社is not only a real estate firm, but also Mori Building, who is very involved in art, is also a part of Ginza Six. So if you have ever gone to the Mori Museum in Roppongi, then I think you would definitely know how cool that how awesome their curation is. They're always picking up new generation artists. Okay, so if you haven't seen the video yet, I'll show you right now without the sound on, because I know that I always post my videos quite late, and also you guys probably only have a limited amount of time to watch my videos. So let's watch it together without the sound. Menuki Douri. I think most of Sheena Ringo's songs are fully Japanese. I heard from her interview that when some of her fans are commenting on her social networks, sometimes they're saying, "Oh my God, you use English, Ringo. We want you to use Japanese." And then she got slightly upset about that, because she usually is somebody who really, really is dedicated about using the proper phrases, or she's sort of like Yamaguchi-san in Sakanakshon, I guess. She's very smart when she's creating the lyrics. She uses a lot of terminologies that aren't used on a daily basis. People think that she is quite an avid reader. Like maybe people think she's a literature freak, but she's actually more into dictionaries, she says. And if you see her on music, like what do you call it? Music TV shows, she's always singing with the lyrics in what do you call it? In the top to down style of font. So it's sort of like traditional Japanese literature. She never shows her lyrics this way. It's always this way. It's more of the traditional type of writing. And she also uses a font that looks more traditional. Okay, let's look at Menuki Douri. Menuki Douri. My iPad is the first generation iPad mini, so it's quite slow, but it has already loaded. And see if I can get larger. So it starts out with French and English. So it starts out with where do we come from? Where do we go? And then I think she also says the only wait. I think I can scroll down to look at the lyrics. Where do we come from? Where do we go? Who are we? And then she says, we die finally answering in the dark. The world waits in my heart. Yep. Okay. And then, so she comes out with another singer called Totas Matsumoto. And this guy is, Sheena Ringo is a major fan of this guy. And both of them, what's interesting is that they both are not the type that will go out and say, hey, look at me, look at me. They're more of the type that wants to go backstage and create things on their own. Like they're more of the artist creator type rather than the idol type. So it's very interesting that they're going out on the main street. Menuki Douri means main street, by the way. They're going out on the main street and they're kind of parading around saying, hey, this is my life. And we should enjoy our life to the max, no matter what we say. And it's sort of like a musical-ish, La La Land-ish music video. And the core message in this song is that a lot of people nowadays, they are really into what like they care too much about how they're being judged on social networks. And Ringo-san wanted to say that, nobody really knows about you. If you can see, the street is forever very, very long, and we don't know where it comes from, and we don't know where it's going on this main street. So she's saying, even on the main street, people don't fully know you. So why should you care about what people say? Even like why should you care about something that someone says? Because they don't know you. They don't know where you came from. They don't know where you're going. And in the end, when you end your life, it's all about what you think about yourself. So why don't we just parade around on the main street and be proud of ourselves? Is basically what the message is saying. And this one was the music video of the song itself, but there is another music video showing Ginza Six. So let me show you that as well. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys have ever been to Ginza. Ginza is a place where everybody goes to shop. It's a luxury main street, and it's sort of like Fifth Avenue, I guess. So if you come to Ginza, or if you say, "Oh, I went to Ginza the other day," it's like saying, "I did a lot of shopping," or "I spent a lot of money on something." But Ginza actually was more popular back in, I think, the 70s and 80s when Japan's economy was bustling. But recently, even before COVID, Japan wasn't having such a great economy boom. So not many people were going to Ginza, and they wanted to do like a revamp, a complete revival of Ginza. And that's why they created this promotion video. So the main message here is that, it's not just about spending money, it's the way of life. Like, um, you should live your life as luxurious as you want, even if you don't, like, if you're not coming here to shop. Just can't come here to have fun and have a better life. Mhm. So that's why they've implemented a lot of artworks within Ginza Six. So you can come and just have fun and enjoy the atmosphere without buying anything. But at the same time, a lot of people from overseas are coming to Ginza to shop. So mainly the Japanese people in Ginza are not there to shop. They're usually just there to enjoy the atmosphere, or they're going to the Uniqlo shop. They're usually not buying luxurious items at department stores. Nowadays, most people in Japan buy things from Uniqlo and just basic items, and they're not interested in Chanel bags and brands. But people from abroad uh, who are from emerging economies have come to Ginza. I think more than maybe 50-60% of the people walking in Ginza right now are foreign people. Okay. All right. So thank you guys for the thumbs up. And we have 5 people in the room. Let's see if we have any comments. Oh, hi, welcome, Kim. Hi, 617, welcome. Inkato, Sheena, Ringo, yay, thank you, welcome. 617, sounds like acid jazz, a mixture between house and jazz, but with Japanese. I agree with you. It's like a very jazzy tune. But Sheena Ringo basically does any type of music. I think her voice also changed. She's capable of controlling her voice in a very, very wide range. So, yeah, I actually am not like a hardcore fan of Ringo-san. So I did take time to do a lot of research on her, but I know that there are just so many hardcore fans of Ringo-san that I'm just afraid to say too much that because they might come back and say, "Hey, that's not that you didn't cover this, you didn't cover this." I'm trying not to say things that I don't know about, but yeah, I think there's just too much to Ringo-san that I might not be able to cover within this session. So I've actually divided my session into part 1 and part 2. This is part 1, and then part 2 will probably be next week. Hi, Lincoln Paris. Thank you for your direct message on Instagram. I actually just woke. You messaged me around 4 a.m. in the morning. So when I woke up, I saw your message, but it was just a little bit too close to the session. So I'll just keep your link for a later session, I think. Thank you so much for your recommendation, though. Oh, you forgot the live was today. Okay, no problem, no problem. I really appreciate you supporting me. Okay, so yay, we have 8 people in the room. How nice. Okay, so that was Menuki Douri. By the way, the word Menuki has a very interesting meaning. Well, Menuki Douri means main street. When you put it together with Douri, Douri means street, then it will mean main street. However, Menuki itself is the the stopper or the connection on a Japanese sword, which connects the handle with the blade. So this is the Menuki. And it's the most important part of the sword, because if the Menuki is not a good Menuki, then the blade will come off of the handle. So you must have a very nice Menuki. So that is why Menuki also means most important. So it's another word for most important. Not all people know this word in Japan. I didn't know it until I looked it up. So it's quite interesting. So the origin is from a sword, but the meaning that we use right now means most important. It's the most important street, hence it's called the Menuki Dori. And Ginza has a very, very wide street, which you can walk on. What do you call it? There's Hokosha Tengoku. I don't know if you guys have this culture in the West, but every Saturday and Sunday, since Ginza is so crowded, we have a system called Hokosha Tengoku, which means walker's paradise. Walker's paradise, and this is when usually okay. So from Monday to Friday, usually the what do you call it? The main street is covered by cars. Basically, the car runs down the larger area of the street, and then usually on the sidewalks, people have to walk. But during Walker's Paradise, which is on Saturdays and Sundays and holidays, we Saturdays and Sundays and holidays, we stop the cars from coming into this wide area, and we have floods of people. So this whole street is all people, not just the sidewalks, but for the whole street, it's going to be flooded with people. And they do this because most people in Japan, when they come to Ginza, they usually do window shopping. So they want to make it easier for you guys to window shop. All right. Okay. So that was Hokosha Tengoku, Walker's Paradise. Okay, let's see if we have any comments. Okay, looking at your comments. Scarpt, hi, how are you? Thank you for your message on Twitter. I haven't logged into Discord yet. I haven't signed up. Sorry about that. Totoro, ohayo. Good morning. 6:17 Menuki. Cute. All right. Yeah, so it was when I was researching Sheena Ringo, there weren't that many English translations out there, and that surprised me because she's so popular worldwide. But I guess her lyrics are too difficult to translate. Maybe that's why nobody has tried translating them. Okay. Okay, so let me pick up a phrase within Menuki Douri, which is towards the end, very end, where she's talking about, when it's more about the feeling you get when you die. That's more important. Like when she's saying at the end of your life, at the end of the day, all that's going to matter is what you think about yourself, and then also what you can bring to heaven. You can't bring money to heaven. You can't bring judgments to heaven. It's all about how you felt through life, how you've gived to people through life, I guess. And then she uses the word anoyo. Anoyo? あの世でもらう批評が本当なのさ。So she's saying the judgment that we receive in あの世 is the real judgment. So this あの世、この世。Okay, so あの世 is the opposite of この世, and あの世 means that world, この世 means this world, and then この世 literally translated is this world, but the actual meaning is the life that we have now, the, what do you call it, the worldly life. The life that we're living right now is this world, and then the life, this is afterlife. あの世 that world is afterlife. So again, this is a Buddhist concept, I guess, because in Buddhism we believe that there is an afterlife and that we do get judged in the afterlife. So Ringo-san says, あの世でもらう批評が本当なのさ. So the judgment that we receive in あの世, that world, the afterlife, is the real judgment. And then she says, デートの夢は長い眠りで見ようか. She says, let's dream of a date during our long sleep. So maybe she's saying, maybe in our afterlife, we will dream about our date. Her lyrics are, again, not that straightforward. You really have to analyze them very well. And then she says, 最後の日から数えてみてほら、ご覧、ほらご覧、飛び出しておいで、目抜き通りへ。So she's saying, 最後の日 is the last day. Okay, 最後の日 means the last day of your life. So I think for you guys who are already learning Japanese, you already know the 最後 that's spelled or written differently. When we usually use the word last, it's this 最後, But this saigo means the last day in your life. It's not just last day. So she's saying on the saigo no hi, on the day of the end of your life. Okay, so from the day of the end of your life, you should count back and see where you are right now. So always remember that, you know, there is a day when you're going to end your life. And then so if you think about that, you would be able to come down to Main Street. You would have the guts to go down the Main Street if you know that there is an end to life. It's probably what she's saying. There's a lot of different interpretations you can make from the song. But I think people who are into Japanese lyrics are always talking about things being ephemeral. Ephemeral. Okay. Japanese literature and lyrics are always a lot about being ephemeral, always changing, and all worldly things have to come to an end. And in Japanese, we use a terminology called shogyo mujo. Shogyo. Shogyo mujo means ever changing and never lasting. So enjoy the moment because it's going to end sometime soon. Okay. All right. So usually the concept of shogyo mujo comes up in a lot of traditional Japanese literature and lyrics. Then, okay, so that was Menuki Douri, and then I also linked a movie called STEM and it's a collaboration with Kentaro Kobayashi. And Kentaro Kobayashi is one of Japan's most famous comedians. He not only he's not only funny, but his comedy is purely art. He combines pantomime and puns, like playing on words, and dancing and theater. He combines everything in theater, like magic as well, and creates plays, creates theatrical plays, either with a very small cast, maybe five or six people, or he performs in solo on the stage. And it's just so well thought out, and it's also sometimes not language dependent. He does theater works that has no talking, and it was done in Paris and Monaco, so people in Paris may already have seen him. But if you haven't seen him, please do check out the link that I have posted. He's just amazing. You really should see his works. Okay, so let's look at STEM. I'm having trouble with my iPad turning around. STEM. Let's look at STEM. Stem is, I think the name of stem in Japanese is kuki. I'm waiting for the commercial to stop before I show you guys. Okay, there we go. So this video was loaded 7 years ago, but it doesn't seem like it's from 7 years ago. It seems so new. Oh, it's too dark. Can't see it. Okay, this is the max brightness that I can get. So STEM was actually, it was sort of like a drama slash music video. So it was about a man that visited a woman, and he would, what do you call it? He fell in love with the woman, but he felt that there was some sort of mysterious thing about her that maybe he should not know about. And then once he found out who that woman really was, so in the daytime, the woman was a very, very pretty lady, but at nighttime, she was more like an oilang. She was more like a mistress type of person. And then after the man found out that the woman had a secret, the woman disappeared. So it's sort of like a reference to the Japanese fable called Tsuru no Ongaishi, which means the favor given back by the crane. And in this story, a man saves a crane from, I think, from a hunter. And then after saving the crane comes back as a beautiful woman and starts living with him. And she says that she will create a beautiful kimono for the family. But she doesn't want to see everybody. I mean, she doesn't want everybody to see how she's creating the kimono. So she says, don't look into my room when I'm creating the kimono. But the family is just so interested because the kimonos that the crane makes is so beautiful, but they don't know how it's made. So they end up looking into the room, and they find that the crane is picking out her feathers. She's using her own feathers to create the kimono. And once the crane finds out that the family now knows that the kimono is made from her feathers, she says that she doesn't want to be seen anymore, and she takes off without anybody being able to stop her. So a lot of stories in Japan are like that. They always have something that you shouldn't do, like looking into a room or opening a box. There's always this box of Pandora type of what do you call it? Situation that people end up doing, and then they lose something for finding out the mystery. So maybe it's a message saying that, you know, if there's something there, if there's a mysterious side to someone, maybe you don't have to know everything about that person. You could keep it as a mystery. Yeah, it's very, very beautiful. So this man is Kentaro Kobayashi. and both of them are more committed to creating the production. They're more of the artist type. They don't go out. Again, it's sort of like what I said during the Menuki Douri video. So they're the type that knows what they want to do with their artwork, but they're not the type who goes out and says, "Hey, I'm the diva. Look at me. Look at me." Yeah. So it's very interesting. So Sheena-san says that whenever she performs on stage, it's similar to Carrie. So she feels like she's putting on a costume or like a plush of Sheena Ringo that everybody expects. By the way, the name Ringo comes from the Beatles, I think. She said she started, I think I read in somewhere that she started out as a drummer, and therefore she liked the drummer in the Beatles, who was Ringo. Her real name is Yumiko, which is the same as my name. And so she kept her Ringo name, even though at first it was tentative. Yes. And by the way, Ringo-san's husband is a movie director. His name is Kodama Yuichi. Kodama. And Kodama-san is a movie director. And I actually found out during my research that he also produces movies by Perfume and also by Wednesday Campanella as well. So I guess all the movies that everybody is interested in right now is probably by Kodama-san. He also, I think, joined the production for the Rio closing ceremony, which was the opening for which is like an introduction to the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Okay. And then let me see if I have covered everything that I wanted to cover. So I've seen multiple interviews of Ringo-san, and she says that her goal in life is to save girls who are having a hard time with their life. So she feels that whenever she creates a song, she portrays a situation when girls tend to become ugly. Ugly meaning not the visual, but the spiritual. Like, so she wants to portray the ugly part of girls, meaning the very like, if you are human, you have an ugly side of you. You have a side where you can't always be nice to people. You sometimes become envious of people. You become angry at people. Sometimes you can't treat everybody in a nice way. And usually Ringo-san portrays a girl in her song that's very, very envious about somebody or is drowning in a situation. But towards the end of the song, the character in the song fights back. She stands up and says, "Hey, I'm not going to drown in this situation." And that's how she wants to energize her listeners. She says that her key fan base are girls, and she wants to save girls that feel like, oh, there's no meaning to life. I want to end my life. And she says that all artists, every artist should be like that. If you can't save somebody from dying, then there's no meaning to create art. You have to save somebody from a very, very sad situation. And when I looked at some of her music videos, there were actually comments from girls saying that, I really, really wanted to end my life. But when I saw Ringo-san's performance, or when I heard her song, I really, really felt that I wanted to live another day. And she continued that until she became the person she wanted to be. So yeah, it's I just really respect her for doing that. Okay, so let's look at some of your comments. In Kato, I always wondered how popular she was. I always wondered. I think most people in Japan know her. People my age definitely know her because she debuted when I was in high school, and everybody was crazy about her. I think she's 41 right now, but I think a lot of girls in their teenage years listen to her as well. So everybody around her generation and below probably know her. I don't know people. I don't know if people around maybe 60s or their 70s, if they're a certain age where they don't listen to music anymore, I think they don't know Ringo-san. But if they're if they're the kind of people, people who are the same generation as Ringo-san or below, definitely know Ringo-san. Mark, hi Miko, I've been looking forward to this. Thank you. Totoro, feel like I'm in a Buddhism class. Sorry. I don't mean to teach spiritual things here, but since Buddhism is embedded so deep in Japanese culture, it's difficult to not talk about it. So, I don't want to make this like a religious class, but it's just too rooted in our culture that I can't not talk about it. If I go around the topic and do not cover it, then everything would not make sense. So that's why I need to cover it. I am open to all religions, by the way. I think Buddhism is more like a philosophy rather than a religion. Mark, Sheena wrote at least one song with Nakata too. Yes, another person actually mentioned that, and I think I'll cover that in the next session. Totoro, I'm more curious with She is Summer. Oh, okay. Well, Ringo-san has too many songs that I can't cover it in one session. I'll note that down. She is Summer. Okay, Mark. Sheena sounds like Marcel Proust. Marcel Proust? I haven't heard. But I know that she listens to a lot of what do you call it? International music as well. I think she listens to all the great musicians out there. So I can imagine that she's trying to incorporate a lot of different styles of music. Totoro, it's okay. I did have a Buddhist sifu. I don't know what a sifu is. Sorry. Okay. So next. Next, let's go to what are we going to next? We are going to talk about Momotarou from Wednesday Campanella. So I actually didn't know about Wednesday Campanella until you guys told me. And it turned out to be very, very interesting. By the way, Komuai, the main vocal in Wednesday Campanella, graduated the same university as I did. So that was interesting to know. Momotarou. I know this is more of their earlier songs. I think it was released 5 years ago. So I know there are other songs that you might want to talk about, but it's just this one was so humorous for me, and it also talks about Japanese fables. So since Wednesday Campanella has their lyrics in English already within the song, I didn't want to explain the lyrics to you one by one because you probably already know what the lyrics are about. But what I did want to explain is since the lyrics don't quite explain what the situation is, like for example, what are these things dancing? This is the oni that I was talking about, the ogres, the Japanese monsters or ogres who have horns. And usually what oni do is they take over the land by, what do you call it? Brutal force, I guess. They're very brutal, and they take over lands from peaceful people. And the song title Momotarou is about is the name of the fable where a boy is born from a peach. Again, we use peaches as a holy fruit. So this boy was born from a peach, and he was born into a family where his mom was a very old lady and his dad was a very old dad. So basically, we say oji-san and oba-san. Oji-san and oba-san is old man, old lady. And in the original Momotarou, in the original fable that everybody learns as a child, Momotarou goes to fight the monsters, the ogres, oni, because they were taking over the lands. And his friends were a dog, a pheasant, and a monkey. So he took three friends, which were animal friends, to go fight the ogres. And that's quite natural to us because we Japanese people think that animals are our friends. But in this song, what's very funny is they make fun of the situation. They say, "How can I defeat ogres? These powerful, masculine, like macho guys, with a dog and a pheasant and a monkey." And by the way, in Japan, dogs and monkeys are said to be always fighting. Ken en no naka, we say. Ken en. Dogs versus monkeys. So in Japan, I think in the West, you guys say dogs and cats, they're fighting like dogs and cats. But in Japan, dogs and monkeys are said to fight a lot. So Wednesday Campanella makes fun of the situation, saying, "Hey, dogs and dogs and monkeys don't get along, so why take them along with you? And then they also say that the pheasant won't be powerful enough to defeat the ogre either. So he's flying on the pheasant, but they say, pheasant, you're probably not going to do and be able to do anything. You're like, you are, you're part of the team, but you're probably not going to be able to fight for the team. Yeah. And in this movie, the reason why Momotarou, the boy, had to go fight the ogre is because he was playing too much games. He says, the song says, every day was a summer holiday for him. He had it easy going. He was playing games all day. And so the grandpa and grandma, or the old lady and the old man who were his parents, said that, hey, Momotarou, stop playing games all the time. Hey, go fight an ogre because you're having life too easy on you. So he says, okay, fine then, I will go with my friends. But the only friends he was able to find is a dog, a pheasant, and a monkey. The other characters within this song that appears is are also characters in Japanese fables. Okay, so the main character today, or in this song, is Momotarou, so Peach Boy. And then we have another character appearing called Kaguya Hime. Kaguya Hime. And then this girl was born from bamboo. So this is a girl born from a bamboo. So we have other characters in the song as well from Japanese fables, but I'm not going to go into every single one. It's just very interesting that in most Japanese fables, there's usually an old lady and an old man who don't have a child that goes out into the forest and finds a bamboo or finds a peach from the river. And then when they open it up, out comes a child. So it's a very cliche pattern in Japan where a child is born from something else, such as a bamboo or a peach. Okay. Let me look at your comments. Totoro, Sifu, Sensei. Hey, okay. Wow, so interesting. In Paris, this song was very popular on TikTok. Momotarou, was it popular on TikTok? Yeah, I know. Like, once I heard it, I'm like, oh my god, please don't play that again. It's interesting. It's so fun, but I will forever have it in my head. Totoro, where I heard about Sheena Ringo for the first time. Really interesting. Great. In Paris, the animation is funny and so different from more Western animation. I know, it's really crazy, right? Yeah, lately Japanese animation is just wacky, very, very wacky. And it also has bright colors as well. Blake, hi Blake. Momotarou is one of Wednesday Campanella's best songs. When she plays it live, she crowd surfs in a giant bubble. Really? I didn't know that. That's so cool. I think I need to get to know them better. I took about 2 or 3 hours to research both Ringo-san and Wednesday Campanella, but even that was not enough. There's just so much information out there that I couldn't digest fully. So yeah, I just appreciate you guys being so patient with me. Okay. Let's see. And the Momotarou song is slightly a rap, right? It starts out with じいちゃんマウンテン芝をカット、ばあちゃんリバーでウォッシュ、は。So it's a combination of Japanese and English. So the original song, original fable starts out with saying the old man went to the mountain to cut some what do you call it? Cut some grass, and the old lady went to the river to wash her dirty clothes. But the way they put it here is Ji-chan, which is old man. Ji-chan mountain shiba o cut. Shiba is grass. So Ji-chan, old man, mountain, grass, cut. Ba-chan, old woman, river, wash, ha. So the way they phrased it was really interesting as well. So and then they also go kibidan, kibigibidan, and this is this is kibidan. So they're talking about kibidango here. Kibidango is a type of mochi. I think the word mochi is now popular in the West as well. So I think I'm going to say it's a type of mochi. So it's like a little rice ball. It's a sweet rice ball that's chewy, and it's one of the famous snacks in Okayama, which is where the Momotarou story originated. So the song also makes fun of the fact that Momotarou only receives these chewy snacks as on his way to go to fight the ogres. The only thing he has in his hands are kibitango, chewy snacks, and he uses these chewy snacks to. It's sort of like bribing. Like he in the original story, he goes out on a journey by himself, and then he meets the dog, and he meets the monkey, and he meets the pheasant, and he gives the kibidango, he gives the snacks to the animals, and in return they say, "Hey, I will go with you on the journey to fight the ogres, Momotarou-san, because you gave me a chewy snack." And they make fun of the fact that don't throw your life away just for a chewy snack. So yeah, that's why the word kibidango comes up so often in the song with Momotarou. Okay, so I've almost been talking for about an hour. Let me explain another slang phrase inside of the song, Yaju. Okay, so this is my last explanation for the day. So in the song, Momotarou wants other people to come along with him to fight the ogres, but everybody is such a ryaju that they won't come along just for a chewy snack. So the word ryaju means that someone who had fun in reality. Okay, the word ryaju means someone who is having fun in reality. So if you're not a ryaju, then that means that you're living in the two-dimensional world. You're always watching animes, you're always doing games, you're into manga, and you don't have any real friends. And it's sort of like a word everybody uses to put themselves down, I guess. So people who are not ryaju say, oh, those guys are ryaju, so I don't want to hang out with them because they have reality friends. I don't have reality friends. So stay away, ryaju guys. By the way, ryaju is a short word. It's an abbreviation for really.リアルに充実している。リアルに充実。Okay, so Ria is short for, so, and then 充実している means you're enjoying it to the max. So people who are enjoying reality life to the max are called ryaju. And in the song, Momotarou says, hey, everybody's such a ryaju. I can't keep up with them. Because they're such ryaju, they don't want to go fight the ogres with me. Yeah. Okay, that was the last word for the day. Let me read your comments. Thank you, Paris. Miko, how come there's so many recent Japanese words that come from English? Well, I don't know. I think Japanese people like learning from abroad. They are the type of people who think that their own culture is not the best. Everybody in Japan thinks that the other countries are better than them. Nobody thinks Japan is the best. Well, and yet they love Japan, but they're always like they're not that proud of their country as other people are. It's not in our culture to say that we are number one. We're always trying to learn from other countries, and since that, yes, because of that, we try to import a lot of concepts and words, and then it turns out to be English or it turns out to be another language. Mark, does Momotarou defeat ogres in the end? Yes, he does. Yes. In the actual fable, he does. He goes with the dog, and he goes with the monkey, and he goes with the pheasant, and he destroys the ogres at the end, and it's a happy ending. But in the song, I think they make fun of the situation. They say, we don't know what's going to happen because all Momotarou has is a kibidango. He has a chewy snack. He has a dog and a pheasant and a monkey. That's all he has to defeat the ogres. So the song makes fun of the situation. Like, honey, Totoro, arigato, Miko-chan. And like, now I understand Momotarou better. Most of Winston Campanella songs raps that tell stories from folklore or history. Yeah, I think even though they have the subtitles out, I felt that nobody would understand the subtitles because it's just what do you call it? It's a reference to things that Western people would not know. So yes, I guess that's what I have for you today. Hope you had fun. So next time I might want to continue with more Sheena Ringo and Wincy Campanella because I got started anyway. So I think I will be doing that. I hope you guys will be interested. Mark, meanwhile, Japanese culture is admired all over the world. Is it? I hope so. But our population is decreasing. So, and then a lot of the young generation is forgetting about Japanese culture. They're getting westernized. And a lot of them go study overseas. So I think the Japanese craftsmanship is getting lost. A lot of people from abroad try to learn Japanese craftsmanship, and they're the ones trying to continue the tradition. But people who are from Japan, who are originally from Japan, they feel that Japanese craftsmanship is something from the past. Like it doesn't have a future. People think that it doesn't have a future, and it's just such hard labor that nobody can really continue it. And most people come to Tokyo to work as salaryman, as salarymans in large corporations instead of staying in the countryside. So the countryside's population is decreasing, and it's quite a huge issue because some schools in the countryside, they only have 4 or 5 students, and they're from different grades as well. So they have to do the whole, what do you call it? They have to teach first graders and fifth graders in the same classroom, and there's only 5 people in the class. So that's what's happening in the countryside of Japan. Our population is, first of all, our population overall is decreasing. Second of all, the population is aging because in Japan, the average, what do you call it? What do you call it? 寿命. The Japanese people live until 84 on average, I think. Yeah. So we have an aging population, and since we have an aging population, we're having difficulty with welfare and pensions, because there's I think there's if the younger generation has to support at least 2 older generation people at the population, because the population is balanced that way. There's twice the amount of old people. Should I say old people? There's twice the amount of people above 60 or 65 who are not working compared to the people who are working. So the working population is so small versus the non-working population that the young people have to pay out a lot of their wage to pensions to support the people who are already aged and retired. And we feel that when we retire, we probably won't get pensions because the population will forever decrease, and nobody will be able to support our generation, because by the time we age, the people the younger generation would probably be even lesser and lesser. Mhm. So we have a lot of difficulties in our country that we are facing, plus COVID. So it's a hard time for people living in Japan, I guess. Blake, thank you so much. Linkin Paris. Oh, it's only part one. Yes, there's just so many songs that I need to analyze before I can say, okay, that was Sheena Ringo, that was Wednesday Campanella. Yeah, so I'll do part 2 next week. Mark, yes, more Sheena and Wednesday would be great. Thank you. I love the huge mall you shared. Thank you. Yes, I put a link to like a video where a person is walking through the mall, and at that timing, I think the display was by Yoi, the giant pumpkins, polka dot pumpkins. And that display changes every season. I think last Christmas it was Klaus Hapaniemi, who is a very famous Norwegian. I think Norwegian or somewhere in the northern European area. Okay, an artist from the northern Europe. I wish I could go there one day. Yes, please come visit Japan. Okay, yeah. So I think that's my session for today. Do you guys have any questions? I think I'll be ending if you don't have any questions. Okay, I've been having a very, very busy week this week. I think I've been starting out 2 or 3 new projects, maybe even more. And I'm also trying to get my artworks on online galleries. So that takes some time as well. So, okay, so it seems like you guys don't have any questions. Oh, it says, I love your shirt. See you, Miko. Okay. Like, I'm a huge fan of Wednesday Campanella, and I'm glad you enjoy them. I speak no Japanese, and thank you for this. Glad to hear that. Okay, all right. So, see you guys next week for part 2, Sheena Ringo and Wednesday Campanella. Bye.